All right, let's just get right into it. You know that feeling, that secret little thrill you get when plans get canceled and suddenly your whole evening is wide open? Well, if you do, this explainer is definitely for you. We're going to talk about the deep and honestly often misunderstood psychology of loving your own home.
We all have that one friend, right? Or, let's be honest, maybe we're that friend. The one who's always saying, maybe next time, or who suddenly feels under the weather. Society kind of labels that person as boring, but we're about to look at this in a whole new light.
No, but really, think about it for a second. That text message pops up. Hey, so sorry, can't make it tonight. And instead of disappointment, you feel this wave of pure relief. A beautiful, glorious vision of sweatpants and zero social obligations. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are in very good company.
And this right here is the whole key. It's a complete shift in how you see it. It's not about being flaky or antisocial. What we're learning is that this is actually an act of self-preservation. You're guarding a resource that's incredibly precious and, yep, finite.
This is the perfect way to think about it, your social battery. Every meeting, every little bit of small talk, every noisy restaurant, even the super fun stuff, it all drains that battery, bit by bit. And your home, that's the one place you can actually plug yourself back in and get a full charge.
Okay, so this brings us to this big clash, doesn't it? You've got what society says about people who love to stay in, and then you have what psychology and actual science tell us is really going on under the hood.
I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you have all the judgments, boring, antisocial, lazy, ouch. But then you look at the other side, the science side, and it tells a totally different story. You're wired differently, you're self-aware, and you're actively recharging. It's not a character flaw, it's just your wiring.
So the actual science behind this is called optimal arousal theory. Now that sounds really fancy, but the idea is super simple. It just means that we all have a sweet spot for how much stimulation we need to feel good. For some people, that sweet spot is a loud concert. For others, it's a quiet room with a good book.
This breaks it down perfectly. Think of extroverts as being kind of like solar panels. They get their energy from being out in the world, soaking it all in. But introverts, they're more like a phone battery. Socializing uses up the power, and the only way to get it back is to plug into some quiet and solitude. Your home is the charging dock.
But you know, this is about more than just being an introvert. The reason home feels so restorative is so important. It's all about creating a sanctuary. And the main ingredient in any sanctuary? It's control.
Seriously, think about it. The second you step outside your door, you have zero control. Over the noise, the traffic, the people you have to interact with. It's just a constant stream of stuff your brain has to deal with. But at home, you're the director. You control the lighting, the soundtrack, the guest list, everything.
And for so many people, especially if you have anxiety or you're a highly sensitive person, this isn't just a preference, it is a non-negotiable need. The chaos of the world can feel like a genuine assault, and home is the one and only place where it's safe to finally let your guard down.
So now, let's just flip this whole thing on its head. Instead of seeing this as some kind of social weakness, what if we started looking at it as a source of secret superpowers? What are the strengths that are actually being built in all that quiet?
Well, the data shows that people who are truly comfortable with solitude, who love their time at home, tend to be more creative, more reflective, and way better problem solvers. And it makes sense, right? Breakthrough ideas rarely happen in a loud, crowded meeting. They show up in the quiet moments when you can actually hear yourself think.
Here's another term I absolutely love, low stimulation preference. And the framing here is everything. It's not about needing less because you're boring. It's that you don't need a ton of external noise because your internal world is already so rich, so interesting. You provide your own entertainment.
And this just gets right to the heart of it all. We are constantly being sold this one-size-fits-all picture of what a happy life is supposed to look like. It's loud, it's busy, it's full of people. But what if your version of a rich, full, amazing life is quieter? What if it's just soup on a rainy afternoon?
Okay, but we do have to talk about the other side of the coin here. We've got to be really honest with ourselves. There is a world of difference between choosing solitude to recharge and being forced into it because you're hiding from the world.
This is the big, important question you have to ask yourself. When you're staying home, are you running to something that fills you up? Or are you running away from something that feels too scary to face?
Let's make it real simple. Recharging is an active choice. You're staying home to fill your own cup. That feels like peace. Hiding is different.
That's when the very idea of leaving just feels impossibly heavy. That's not peace. That's a prison. And knowing the difference for yourself, well, that's everything.
So, for all of you out there who genuinely love your sanctuary, who choose it freely and joyfully, let's just make a few things crystal clear.
What you're feeling, it's not sadness. It is deep, profound self-awareness. It's knowing what you need and being smart enough to give it to yourself. So if you've ever felt guilty for saying no to an invitation, for picking quiet over chaos, I need you to hear this.
You are not broken. You're just wired for peace. And so that really leaves us with this one last thought to sit with. When you look at your own life, is staying home something you truly savor? A choice that brings you joy? Or is it something else? Only you know the answer to that.
If this hit home for you, and you want to keep digging into the kinds of truths about yourself that most people never talk about, our next explainer is ready and waiting. Click on it, and you'll see exactly what I mean.